The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday! Welcome to the show. You are looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza, where the presents are out. The crane is on the other side now. Outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where it's trying its hardest. Come on, Mother Nature. I know you're trying to get in there and bring us some fall weather. It's 68 degrees. The high is 70, the low is 45.
He is Shannon. That is Nate. This is Kurt. That is Chris. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Down, 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 down. Brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. When's the next drop, Chris? Wednesday? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Week and a half.
Then you get some free wings.
Free wings. You gotta make sure.
Wingstop's bringing us a drop.
Y'all didn't like my beat.
I love it.
I was on the lead. I was on the lead good time, man. I know Kurt would have. I know he
loved
liked
it.
it.
Oh
yeah. I know
Need
he
more
liked
of that.
I like it. What's your shirt?
What shirt?
What's it say?
That's Jones House.
Players Club.
That's the only charity I've ever been active in. I like you. I like everybody today. I like your little, your little hoodie. Like it. I like what my boy Pinky going over there. I like my boy with his plaid.
Jesse got in my closet. He got the extra, this medium on.
You see the
That
cousin
extra-
showing off the guns. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, this little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Can't hide sexy.
You know what I'm saying?
Look out. You can put some pink on it, but you can't hide it.
I tell you what, man. So who is the show about today?
You.
Yeah.
No, not about me, babe. No.
Well, we are talking about the Texans offense and the Cowboys defense.
Mm-hmm.
So Texans offense, we'll start there and probably do 2.5 segments on it. What you guys think?
You really think we can get 2.5 segments of this offense?
Well, you've been setting this up. You walked in here before anybody was in here with one foot out the door already. You don't want to be here today, and then you've already told me I can make this one real quick.
Yeah, I can.
Go. The floor is yours. First off, how are you guys? You guys do good?
Good.
You're good?
I'm good.
All right, Nate. If you can entertain us for a segment and a half, we'll let you go early today.
All right. Jesse, what you got to say?
Come on, you gotta have something.
Hey, man. Being honest, I said, I've been here before. I've been in a bad situation where we've had more than a 3-game losing streak. And it's just, as an ex-player, I'm like, I always wondered what the media did, what they said, how they prepared, how guys like such as us, they didn't have Zoom back then, but it was always radio guys. And I'm like, how did they bring content in a different way? How did you say stop the run in a different way? How do you say we got to defend better, the pass, better? How do we give it in a more entertaining way? And it just kept coming back to me. Go, Jesse.
Trust me, when you was having those thoughts back in the day, I was somewhere waiting for my dad to come pick me up. I was on the porch waiting for him to come pick me up back in the 90s when you were having those thoughts. But for the Cowboys, let's go Houston. Right now, the offense, honestly, they've had some injuries up front. They lost Nico Collins to a hamstring, so he's coming back this week. So I actually, when I went and watched film, I was watching. When I go to break down film, I always go the last game they just played, right? Because that's recency bias, right? I want to see what happened, what transpired in the most recent game I can possibly see. And then my next thought process is, we're doing offense. So I want to go then find games where they were the best at what they did offensively, scored some points and so on and so forth. And then once I start looking at that, my next thought process is Houston right now they were the last couple of weeks down a bunch of people due to injury. Offensively, offensive lineman, of course, Stephon Diggs was out and Nico Collins was out. And so I had to then go back to like week 2 or 3 because I wanted to see what the offense looked like with Nico in it. Yeah. Because there is some change. When you have one of the best receivers in the league, at least top 10 receivers in the league, and when you don't have them, right? So there was some change in it. And so I went back and I looked, to some earlier season games. And I'm there are times I'll watch a quarter, I'll watch a half of football. Depending on how the game goes, I'll watch an entire game. But I'll go half. I'll go watch a half that I feel like, what I need to see. I watch a lot of football in general. But I went and looked at this offense earlier in the year. And I compared it to what they were a week ago. And you talk about the vertical threat. The vertical threat, when you had Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins in it, it was there. And they were pushing and driving the ball down the football field earlier in the year. Now, when you lost those guys, of course, those things have changed. But I think when you go back, when you go to the game on Monday, you're going to see more of that vertical threat. Nico Collins, a big receiver, can run, has great hands, good routes. And that will then open up for guys like Tank Dell, because if the Cowboys defensively are going to look like they did a week ago, then it's going to be more guys committed to the line of scrimmage, right? 6, 7, 8 guys in the box, single high safety, some man coverage on the outside. Now, I don't know what they're going to do, how short that leash may be with Carson. I'm sure they're giving them confidence throughout this week to say, hey, young fella, you got to go back out there again. we don't have a choice. Yeah. Deron Bland is still running around in tennis shoes in the rehab group. He ain't even in cleats. So there's no real sight that he's coming back to help the Cowboys defensively. Maybe you go quicker to Israel Mukuamu, but you're talking about an elite route runner in Nico Collins, and then you're talking about one of the most shifty, quick, in and out of breaks in Tank Dell. So those are two things that don't really bode well for a guy like, Mukuamu.
Where does well, I don't want to break up your rhythm.
No, and so
you kind of just did.
I just did.
Yeah. No, you're good. What Houston and they line up in many different forms. We know what their offensive coordinator Bobby Sloak and how he is one of the hot names. Now I'll tell you this, Bobby Sloak, you need to get things going, my boy, because you were one of the hot names right behind Ben Johnson is being one of you're falling off. Mm-hmm. The offense ain't been as hot, and I get it. You're faced with injuries on the line. You're faced with injuries at your receiver spot. And so maybe your name took a little nick to it. Now, we might be the reason why he gets back going again, this offense gets going. But you know what their left tackle is in Laramie Tunsil, right? He's one of the good ones. But they do have some soft spots in the middle of that offensive line. Now, I say that, and I go, well, who do we have that are able to attack those soft spots in the interior of that offensive line? This is where I go and I look at Mike Zim. I'm saying, here's where you got to get creative. If double A gap blitzing is your thing, then you need to now start working some of that in, because there are opportunities there. There are opportunities on their right tackle where you can probably get some pressure. I think a good battle is going to be Laramie Tunsil and Micah Parsons. That's going to be a good battle on that left-hand side. Now what you have to do is I have to find where I can create another one-on-one where I win more than I lose and or stalemate. Because stalemating means that ain't no pressure happening. I need to win. I need to find areas where I can go and win. And that's possible in the middle, however you want to be creative about it. That's possible at times on the right edge, on the right tackle, if you get creative at times. But if you don't, oh boy. If you can't figure out a way to get that type of pressure, and this may go into my stat. This may go into my stat tomorrow. Tank Dell on any of those over routes he's going to have a field day.
Just his speed or what?
His speed, his shiftiness, his quickness. If they're allowing C.J. Stroud to sit in that pocket, unabated, untouched, comfortable, Trayvon Diggs, whatever corner you want to put opposite of him, whatever safety you want to put back there, will be in the blender. Hell will be upon them. You got to get to C.J. Stroud so that those routes aren't allowed to develop. They aren't able to push the ball down the football field. But of course, if I'm Bobby Slowick, I've watched all the film that I need to watch, and I know that Joe Mixon should touch the ball 19 to 24 times in this football game.
Go back to Nico Collins. PFF, this surprises me. Been out a month, right?
Yes, 5 games.
PFF has him ranked the number 1 receiver in the NFL. Thanks, Kurt. We know how you like PFF.
I do.
113.4 yards per game. A receiver being out with a hamstring injury for a month. Is it?
Go ahead. I was going to say 100. How many yards a game?
113.4.
If you can look up how many yards his per catch yardage.
The receiver coming back hamstring a month, can't do a lot of cardio with the hamstring, right? How much can we expect out of him this game with this being his first game back? Is there going to be a ramp up for a game or two to get into football shape again, or is he the big enough, physical enough guy?
17.7.
17 points.
That's a lot of yards.
A whole lot of yards. We call those explosive plays.
So wait a minute, I'm doing the math here. So one catch from him is just one reception. His average is 3 times longer than
5 times.
3 times longer than any ball that Cooper threw.
He was throwing 2 something, right? Was it 2 something?
I think the longest one he had was 5 yards.
Oh, was it 5?
Yeah.
Longest was 5.
You know,
Okay.
The average is about 2 or 3.
Jesse was talking about how do you get them, and in the 2 films that I watched, or the 2.5 films, you can get their offensive line are very leaky, and what I mean by that, twist. This falls right into Parsons' hands. To tackle in stunts, to tackle in games, and even more so, your A and B gaps. I saw them blitzing. I saw the Jets. I saw this last game where they hitting them A and B gaps, and so they're real leaky. And a lot of times they get confused. And then they brought that nickel one time off the corner, and they brought that safety one time off the corner. So you can get their offensive line. You can mix them
And
up.
see, my only pushback to that is when you talk about those things. I go, you said the Jets, and you said Detroit.
Yeah,
right? You're
that's
talking
too
about,
elite.
You're talking about Quinton Williams, right? You're talking about one of the best interior defensive linemen.
Yeah.
So it matters. So when he punch and then they loop around, they go follow him. And oh snap, he's coming. Oh,
right.
You talk about the Khalil McNeil over at Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Like he's playing at a
good
he's
level.
playing at probably go to Pro Bowl this year or at least be in consideration. That's the only thing is that when you talk about these things,
You got the players.
you have the players that require the attention.
Yeah.
These guys, Quinton Williams requires a double team.
Right.
You ain't lining up every day down against Quinton Williams.
Micah? Can you throw Micah in the mix and get
But-
that?
but-
But the
again,
thing about it, he's going to be on the outside.
He's gonna be on the outside.
Somebody inside.
And the tackle, where the tackle goes straight out. Tackle over the guard goes straight out and hit the tackle of the offense, and that guy loops it back round. Vice versa. And the thing is, you got to have a guy that's dangerous on that inside because
you are automatically afraid of that initial surge.
2 things he's doing. He's opening up the pocket as well as making the pocket.
He's collapsing it. Yeah,
he's collapsing it. So I saw those 2 teams do that. Now, can we do it? That, like Jesse, that is the question. But the thing is that you can confuse them, but they made Mixon almost a non-factor early in the game. They started getting at them. See, they're not great pass blockers. They're average run blockers, but they can maul you. They'll lay on you. They are some of the best holding guys that don't get called. You watch the pass rush, man. They be on the edge holding. I'll be like, how did he get away with that? And they know how to let loose and not go. You know, most times when you do this, the refs just throw a flag. They good at, They can hold. They are good. And so what that tells me, they don't have great feet, but they have great strength. Mm-hmm. You know, like Tyron, but Tyron had great feet. But when Tyron used to put his hands on you, you were done. And this is how these guys are. You got to be moving. So coach got to come up with a scheme where don't let these guys stand pat. You got to be moving. You have to be moving.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, Jesse will answer my question that Nate so rudely interrupted and didn't have one thought. Didn't even talk about myself the first segment. Just went with the show.
You was going to say something.
I actually said something.
Well, let's segue into that.
A full question.
Can we segue into that so you can ask Jesse?
I just did. You didn't even listen to that either.
Okay.
Cut me off with that. We'll be right
back.
I'm so disgusted.
You still my boy.
You can go now.
You my boy. You're my boy.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hangin with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Hey, Cowboy fans. I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game. Crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry. Even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day. The second segment, blockchain.com.
Blockchain.
Thank you, blockchain.com. Kurt.
Yes.
Are you ready to hear this?
Tell me.
We had about 4 more days of this live read.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
Better get your feel now.
Yep.
Here's one more. Are you ready to go to the Bengals game?
Yeah.
Hey, kitty cat.
Hey. You could win a VIP experience to the Cowboys versus the Bengals in that game on December the 9th. Just text Cowboys VIP to 711-711 for your chance to win premium club tickets, sideline pass to travel, and more. Don't miss out. Enter now. No purchase necessary. Ends on 11/20. Must be 18 or older in the USDC. Void where prohibited. Message and data rates may apply. Visit bit.ly/go711-711 for full details and non-text entry.
So you been to Pump 8 lately, Jess?
I was there yesterday.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I was at Pump 8 yesterday.
Yeah.
Got $35 on Pump 8.
That's as many points we're going to score this week, the Cowboys.
8.
8 or 35?
8.
You think you're going to get 35?
35-8. That's going to be the score. 35-8.
I'll wait for your other prediction.
35-8.
It sounds better than this score.
Wow. Nate, can I ask my question now?
Yes, you can, sir. I'm sorry for interrupting earlier.
I'm going to interrupt your boy.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Jesse.
But Jess, like we were saying,
I I hate you sometimes. Sometimes I really love this show. Sometimes I just don't even want to be here.
See, y'all don't understand. This is why we have the perfect synergy and harmony. We understand each
Kurt
other.
don't talk. Hey. He doesn't ask questions, so you can't cut him off.
And I don't do no research. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, he does.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, he does do research. Don't never think he ain't
Warren
working.
Buffett said, to build the best team, you have to get people not as that have the same strength as you, but their strengths are your weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I build my team properly.
You built this team? Who built this team?
Derek.
Did he build this team, or did we kind of organically build it ourselves?
I think. Oh, I got fired from one job, and they needed somewhere for me to go. I think I had an open seat. And they was like,
were you on here before that?
No.
Nah.
I was doing cover
just
4.
me and you.
I was doing TV.
Oh. For some reason, I thought you were already here when that.
The other black guy.
When that went down.
Who the other black guy?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
They say all black guys look alike. That's what they say.
Who all's been on this show?
Us 3.
Started with Hellman. Started with Josh. Josh and Hellman.
First, the very roots of it were Josh and Jeff Sullivan. It was based on the magazine.
Okay.
And then it went to Josh and
Hellman,
maybe, and you.
And then I got thrown in there somehow.
Yeah.
And then Josh. And then it was me, Hellman.
And it was me, you, and Josh for a while.
Okay.
And then it was me, you, and Nate. And then it was Jesse.
And then Jesse got added up there. Okay.
And then you left and came back. So.
Yeah. They added Jay Holly. That thing said.
Is that when it happened?
I don't know, but I feel like it. I'm talking about myself now.
I'm glad it did. Shoot, man. I was tired of fussing with Kurt. I was like, when you came, I'm like, yeah, I get to have fun. So can you ask your question? You didn't get mad at them.
I know he forgot it.
Yeah. No. I was asking what. I know what you're about to do. Go ahead and do it. Jump in. Okay. Nico Collins, a receiver, being out for a month. How much ramp up is there going to be?
You know, that ramp up stuff is a Cowboy thing. I really believe that.
Really?
I do.
So you think he could get in this game?
I think
and
Nico, if Nico was being activated for this game, he was running last week.
Okay.
I think he's like his.
Yeah, he was activated actually on Friday, but he was a healthy scratch basically.
Yeah.
He was getting ready for these Cowboys. They were like, we need everybody full
only we
strength.
do that. Only we really take
folks.
this ramp up thing to weeks upon a time. Though you got to get ramped up some more. Yeah. Football players play football.
How does Nico compare to CD? Because they're two of the top.
Yeah,
ones,
you
right?
said top 10. PFF's got him ranked as number 1. Like what is he like for people that haven't watched him? Where would you put him? Is he a Justin Jefferson type guy? Is he a Cooper Kupp type guy?
He's a mixture. He's not Chase, Jet. He's not Justin Jefferson. He's not Jamar Chase. I think those guys are. You leave those guys by themselves. You let them just, you know what I'm saying? You put them in their
That's
own
like you got right now. You got Patrick Mahomes and
then everybody
Patrick
else.
Mahomes.
Yeah. There's another tier, and then everybody else.
Those receivers, there's 2 dudes, right?
Yeah, I think he's in the conversation of being CeeDee. He's a bigger receiver. He runs fast. He has a large catch radius. Run good routes. I mean, he's everything you want in a receiver. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to like he is. Is he? I mean, he has body control. He has good hands. He's a vertical threat. He's an intermediate threat.
He's faster Mike. He's a faster Mike.
Mike.
My Mike.
Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a faster Mike Irvin.
He's more fluid than Mike. You know, Mike was a little stiffy.
Yeah, he was.
Mike was a little stiffy.
But after about 5,000 slants.
I know. Slants, about 5 slants and bang 8s. It'll stiffen you up a little bit. But that's what Nico is.
6'4", 220.
Yeah, like he's a big target, man.
Now. He's a man.
He's like a Calvin Johnson type build, right? 6'4".
Let's come on now, like you keep throwing names out. He's in there. He's in there. He is, like I said, he's a big receiver. He can run.
Let me look this
He's a
dude
target. He's a big black man.
Don't look for this dude. I know you're looking for arms.
No,
I know you're looking for arms. Hey, but rank your receivers, man, because boy, I'm telling you, them 2 dudes you first named, those guys are real special type animals.
Depending on for me, it just depends on what day it is. Because one day I'll say Chase, one day I'll say Jet as being the number 1 guy. But those 2 guys are undoubtedly the 1 and 2 or 1A, 1B, however you want to put them in that conversation. Then next for me, I honestly, like CeeDee's in that conversation. CeeDee Lamb is in that. He's next for me. Then you could put Nico. Depending on what Tyreek Hill, what kind of quarterback he has, if and when he has a quarterback, I think Tyreek Hill is still one of those guys that can wreck a game.
You know what? This is funny. I love seeing Tyreek warm up because he'll do quick moves every now and then. He'll just you talking about quick as a cat. Man. I mean, if you see him warm up before a game, and sometimes he'll go to just moving around real quick, and then he'll get in the game and do some of them same moves. If his quarterback was 100% healthy and really connecting with him, oh my God, it would be unreal, man. But anyway, go ahead on. So them your 5 guys.
Yeah, and then everybody else, it's kind of like you can put them at anywhere. You can say Cooper Kupp. You can say George Pickens. Now, I like me some George Pickens now. Now he ain't rap. Oh,
he ain't rap.
He ain't rap too tight. He ain't. Boy, I'm telling you, he ain't listening in his brain. Ain't too much
going
on.
How does Steelers find them type guys?
I was going to say, that's a prototype of that, isn't it?
They know talent. They don't know character.
No,
they can identify talent.
They don't do the brain wave.
Or is it if you go spend like over 3 years in Pittsburgh, it just unwinds you?
Nah, they come with that. That ain't developed. Yeah. You born with that right there. But boy, George Pickens, I like me some George Pickens, man. Like you put him.
If he had a real quarterback, a younger quarterback.
If you would have put George Pickens with Josh Allen,
yes,
with Patrick Mahomes, with man, he could break the 2,000-yard mark. Like that's how skilled he is.
But he is the number one. And I don't care what that PF whatever chain you looking at. He contested catches.
Boy.
Contested catches. You know, food always, for some reason, hit me like that. I'm sorry. What's the name of it?
PFF.
Okay.
I like PF chain. Now.
Yeah. PF fried chicken, Kentucky fried.
Yeah.
Wow. You just do not want to be here today, do you?
No, I'm here.
I know you're here.
Chris, hold on now, Chris. I'm sitting down and you still got me at the top of the arc, Chris.
So
last squirrel.
So also for the Texans, you know, it isn't another one of those teams where you'll see them use their tight end. Like more teams than ever is going more than I've seen in a long time. Teams getting into this 12 personnel.
Who's their tight end, Kurt?
Dalton Schultz.
Say his name again.
Dalton Schultz.
Get him again one more time.
Schultz.
All right, there we go.
Trying to get him injured.
Jinx him. I don't want him to get injured.
That's probably why they won't throw to Ferguson. He's still crying over Dalton.
But like I said, they get into that 12 personnel, man, and they're gonna run Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon, he runs angry.
Yeah, this surprised me. They're 20th in rushing yards per carry. I thought it'd be higher than that, but Mixon's tied for 6th in touchdowns with 7. Tied for 10th in carries with 151 and 13th in yards with 655.
If my personal opinion, they had to get more into this run game when they started losing offensive linemen and then their 2 top receivers got hurt. So early in the year, they were letting that thing fly, right? And the run game was just kind of a bonus to it. It was like, let's just stay balanced. Let's just stay, keep them out at the line of scrimmage. But they were trying to pass that thing around between Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell and Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. They were passing the ball earlier in the year. But then when guys began to fall off, you start saying, all right, now we got to slow this game down a little bit. We got to muck it up. We got to get a little dirty. We got to be able to, to get to the fourth quarter with a fighting chance and then be able to make some plays. So that's why you see the kind of the later surge of the running game becoming more prominent because of all the injuries that they had. It was like week 3 or 4 or something like that.
All right, I have a question when we come back from break.
Breaking at 1:30 right on time.
See if Jesse can answer it because
you're good.
Nate's checked out before you got here.
You're good, man.
We'll leave this one to Jesse and Kurt when we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
Pinky.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hangin with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, I have a question for you, Jess. With Nico Collins coming, you brought up a good point. They were running by necessity, right, with injuries and things like that. Now you have your full complement of weapons, right? And you look at the Cowboys, and you've realized you've got a glaring weakness at cornerback. You've got a glaring weakness up the middle with the run game. How do you decide, like, you could attack both areas and probably have success. How do you, when it's that wide open, how do you decide what your game plan is and go, here's where I'm going with the ball, and here's how long I'm sticking with it, and here's my first 14? And
I'll give it to you in this terms. When we talk about percentages, what's the highest percentage shot in basketball?
Dunk.
Layup.
Layup. Dunk.
Layup, dunk.
What's the
Ooh, who did
what's
that?
the what's
What
the
was that?
I think that was just a
Chair
that was the chair.
moving,
Okay. Whose chair?
And
Whose chair?
and
Sounded
what-
like
what's-
butt stuff to me.
and what's the least percentage shot in the NBA?
Half court.
Well, I mean,
Three-pointer.
three-pointer.
Nowadays, the mid-range.
I was going to say, 3 points getting to where it's pretty high percentage.
So I say that to say
Steph
this:
Curry was at 48%. I was like, oh my God.
Bye-bye.
if the layup is there, why shoot the three?
Right. So the run game, you're sticking with the run game?
That's the higher percentage points, right? Like me handing the ball off and getting 5, 6, 7 yards a clip all the way up and down the field. If that's available, why take the high percentage shot of a fadeaway three when you got a layup? You see what I'm saying? Like, why give Micah Parsons and DeMar Overshown a chance to strip sack fumble, to swing momentum when all I got to do is just keep driving the ball down the football field?
With that being said, do you go into this game with the run as the centerpiece and then put some play action in there to set up the big play and take some shots when the look's right? And
like stealing candy from a baby.
The smart coach, and I think Coach Ryan is. Ryan's, he gonna play situational football. If it's on the 20, he's gonna hand it to the running back. You know, if he, like you say, if the numbers go like it's supposed to go and it's third and whatever, he'll continue to run. But if you cramp him up a little bit and it's third and 8, he's gonna take his shot. So I think he's gonna play great situational football, and he's gonna ask his coordinator, his offensive coordinator, which is Coach Floyd. Hey, here we go. Because much like the Eagles' defense did last week, just continued to play. Then in the third quarter, they crunk it up a little bit. But they fell back into who they were. So, but I do have an answer for this.
The film is out on what happened last week against Kalen Carson. Like, that ain't go nowhere. Like, they couldn't. Like, the Cowboys couldn't take that film and burn it so that no one else could see it. Right? Mm-hmm. So that player is still going to suit up and be on the football field. So when that moment in time comes and they decide, well, we're going to go 7 in the box because Joe Mixon just ran off a clip of 3 at 6 yards a clip. Let's see if they're going to look outside and go, oh,
1-on-1?
Nico.
Let's check your hammy. Let's check it.
Let's check the hammy.
Yeah.
Or Tank. Hey, let's see how all that speed and energy comes at him, and you put the brakes on, and then he break down, and you take off again.
So like we've talked about with Guyton, where you just got to get reps. Do you do the same thing with Carson? You just got to take his bruises?
I mean, y'all believe that. I'm not the one on this show that believes giving people reps makes them better.
Yeah, I believe giving people the proper reps makes people better. But in our game that we play, I'm talking about me and Jesse for this, is you got to have a certain amount of confidence. And even when you're getting beat, you got to be downloading this and learning. At some point in that game, every player that I've played with that had to go through this a little bit as a draft pick or as a free agent or either coming to a new team, learning a new system, at no point did this kid even challenge himself. Now I got to bring you out of the game as a coach because it's 3rd and 6. Why are you back 12 yards off the ball? You gonna give him the first? No, at least creep up to 7, either 8, so you can at least run up there and make, contest the catch or something. But when you see a kid, and see, this is where I'm a little bit different. When you see a kid, what's the kid name? Mukwamu should have been in there much earlier. Why do you have to just beat a kid down before you make a change? That ain't cool to me. That ain't cool as a coach. You see 15, 17, 20. Coach, this kid ain't gonna move up. We all see that. Put somebody else in there who gonna at least be competitive. How you feel? How you spending it?
Yeah, listen, I'm right there with you, but I also think sometimes coaches look back there and I go,
still our best option.
He might still be our best option.
Yeah.
He might still be our best. I mean, they tried Andrew Booth. They tried the AO kid.
Last week did not prove the point that forget where you drafted. Did last week not prove the point that sometimes what we're facing on this team is every game you get half our fans saying, man, if they would just play hard. It looks different when you look at certain teams getting beat. We saw Detroit come back and beat a team where 5 interceptions Detroit had. But at not one point did you see Detroit not playing hard. That's how you get back in games. Truly, like the Ravens, everybody, we had a shot at the Ravens. Where if you'd have played hard the whole game into the wall, the whole game, yeah, I would have believed that. But you're picking your spots. And when you pick your spots, you're inconsistent. And when you're inconsistent from the top, it goes all the way to the bottom.
Well, see, I think what you just said is probably a conversation that we can. I mean, that's a segment conversation. That's a whole other segment because, the team that you named, that's a culture thing.
Yeah,
that's a culture thing. Those teams play that way because that's what's bred in them. That's what's talked to them about. That's what they practice like. And that's the biggest thing is that we keep looking and wanting certain things from this team and these players, and it ain't a part of the culture. They're like, yeah, you say playing hard, that's easy. Yeah, but it ain't. Yeah, but it ain't. And we always, because we have a 3-time Super Bowl champion here, and I always reference back to that, you couldn't do that at day practice. So you couldn't do that then. Because not only would you stick out like a sore thumb, they'd be on your tail. See, it was for you to come out there and practice and not go full speed and not give the proper looks and not do the proper things was a backhanded smack to the other guys out there. And the great players, the Michael Irvins wasn't allowing that. The Troy Aikmans weren't allowing that. The Deons when he was here, or the Darren Woodsons, or the Bill Bates, or the whoever you want to name. Those who stood out, those who were on the billboard, those who were on the magazine cover. Charles Hill, that was on the magazine cover. Those who were on the trading cards, those who had the jersey sales, those dudes wasn't allowing that to happen. And it wasn't lip service. They weren't just telling you, oh, come on, you got to be better. They're like, nah, and no matter what I did last night, I'm out here and I'm going 100 miles an hour. So when you get to the game, it isn't a switch that you're trying to turn off and on. It becomes a way of life. It becomes a way that you play the game. So they get into these games and say, play harder, try harder, do harder. Well, you're asking them to do something that's abnormal. And when it's not normal to you, the first sign of fatigue, or the first sign of resistance, or the first sign of something that's impeding adversity, you go back to what you're normally used to. Those guys didn't do that. The Detroit Lions didn't do that. The Chiefs, you want to name the Ravens, you want to name those good teams. When they get on the football field on Sunday, it is a direct representation of what their culture is. And so when we talk about this team and how it looks on Sunday, I said it's a whole nother topic for a whole other day. We're seeing the culture. We're seeing what's allowed at practice. We're seeing the kind of players that you brought into the building. And that always is going to be the outcome of your team on game day. And you can even sprinkle in victories, and you can sprinkle in winning streaks. Oh, but when it come time for that, when you to have to, when you meet that adversity, or you meet somebody as good as you or better,
equal or better talent,
you fall through the cracks, because they have a lifestyle in which they approach it with. They have attention to details, and you do not. And that's why you see certain things happen in the games that matter the most with these players here. But again, that's a whole nother thing for a whole other day that we can talk about. But yeah,
and I really like the part you said it didn't matter what happened last night,
because it didn't,
or this morning.
It didn't. I know enough of y'all.
Yeah,
I heard the stories.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't.
I'm tired.
And it was, yeah. But you showed up the next day.
That's right.
Right? Because if you didn't, you get embarrassed.
Yeah.
You get.
That same person gonna come and say, hey, man, now you ain't act like that last night.
Because I was there.
Come on now. I had a coach when my short stint with the Washington Commanders, used to be the Redskins. And Coach Gibbs called me in his office and basically said the same thing he said. And then I can't think of the offensive line coach. As soon as he got the head coach got through him, the offensive line coach basically said the same thing. Everybody last night, I mean, we went out and had a blowout time drinking, just beer after beer. Don't you know these same guys was drinking with you? How you couldn't make it through practice and they made it through practice? He said, don't you drink if you can't make it through practice. All right, oh, okay, coach. All right. Yeah, I mean, he will read me out, but I at least made it to the last cut. Hey, if football ain't the priority, no matter what happened in my life outside that field, if football can't be your priority, you're doing it wrong. It's got to be the only thing that matters. It's got to be. I changed my drinking habits, the way I ate. I mean, Yeah, Ed. I like the
was?
Southern way.
Yeah.
That's deep South. He understood.
That's deep South.
That's some boudin. That's some boudin.
You know how hungry you got to be to Ed?
Yeah.
You got to be hungry as hell. You got to be hungry as hell to Ed.
Yeah.
He said he ate. I ate.
Yes, sir. What we gonna eat?
You gonna table it till tomorrow? Who you got tonight? Washington and Philly.
Who that?
Who that gonna beat that?
Who that, man? I don't mess with neither one of them teams. Whoever wins.
Who y'all got?
I ain't going for neither one of them. They all 4 games ahead of us.
Washington is a 4-point underdog. They're on the road at Philly. So
no, I think Philadelphia is coming into their own.
Yeah.
Who you got, Chris?
They look good, man.
Who you got, Kurt? I ain't got neither one of them. I'm gonna watch the game though.
What did you say, Kurt?
Philly. I think, like you said, they're coming in their own. They're at home.
What do you think, Chris?
I think it's going to be Philly.
Oh, good game. Tune in. We'll talk about it a little
It'll
bit
be a good game.
Let's spend a little bit of time on C.J. Stroud tomorrow. His numbers have taken a step back. I'm interested to get y'all's feedback on if that's a byproduct of injuries and things like that, focusing on the run game, or if what you see on film. And then phone calls. 888-855-2297. Call us. We want to know how you feel about the game.
You know what CJ Stroud is starting to kind of notice now, like he's dealing with now?
What?
It's different when you were the hunter.
Yeah.
And now you're the hunted.
Yep. Yep. Got a target on your back.
But he still can throw. He still can throw. Bro.
All right, fellas, good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Nate, thanks for at least sitting in the chair today, showing up.
You were nice shirts, fellas. I'm coming back to that.
Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air.
Yes, sir.
Jazz and Josh, thanks for keeping in company.
Okay, did he lower me down or did I lower myself? I think I lowered myself.
Wow. We will be back.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Oh, it looks like your chair's moving up.
Chris, you got me out of
There you go. Whoa. That's good. No,
we can stand up.
Hey. We'll be back tomorrow. Hang with the boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!